I recently made these really cool holographic rainbow address labels for a mailing for my stationery school members. So I just want to show you how I put this together, designed it, ordered it, and attached them to the envelopes. I'm in Adobe Illustrator, and here is the design that I want to create with my address label. I typically go with a size of 10 by 2.25, somewhere around there. I feel like it fits really well on an A7 5x7 envelope. So I've made my artboard that size exactly, and then I made these little envelope guides. They're just rectangles that are 7.25 by 5.25, the size of the envelope. And then I put them right next to each other with just a little bit in the middle so I could see what this would look like on the front and back as I prepared my artwork. I really like for my address labels to come over the flap a little bit because then you don't have to seal the envelopes as much, and it helps seal them. Really cute. This is where I would put the return address if I were going to do that. I'm not going to do that for this example, but I'm just going to put my stationery school logo there so they know that it came from stationery school. I created the name, address, city, state placeholder just to make sure it would look how I wanted it to, and you want to just leave enough room for when you do your data merge that you will have room for really long names and long addresses, but you don't want to have it too far over here on the side of the envelope or too far over here where it's going to run off the edge. So once I'm happy with what this looks like, I'm just going to pull my artwork out to the edge of the bleeds. If you're not familiar with bleeds, then please check out our other videos. Pull my artwork out here, and then I'm going to head over into InDesign to do the data merge portion. In InDesign, I'm going to create my file at 10 by 2.25 inches. I don't want facing pages. And I do want to make sure I have a 0.125 inch bleed because that's what PrintsWell requires. Now we can set up our data merge, and I would recommend doing any of the elements that are constant for every label with the parent pages after you do the merge, and I'll show you why. So I'm actually not going to put this little return address emblem, and I'm not going to put the background yet. I'm just going to do the address, city, and state. So I want to make sure I'm getting as far enough from the edge, getting the exact placement that I want. So I'll just measure this here, and that's about 5.8 inches. So we'll just keep in mind this is about 5.75. Go a little further. So we want to start our merge around here. I'm going to make my box long enough to put some of the longer addresses, and also tall enough that if I have anyone with apartments, countries, etc., they will all fit in here as well. Now in Windows, Utilities, we'll go to our data merge panel and select our data source. If you are not familiar with data merge, definitely check out our longer video on it. Select my fake addresses, and then let's put name, address, apartment, city, comma, state, space, zip. Now these are not centered in the box, so I'll right click and do text frame options and do our vertical justification in the center of the box. And I want it so that even if someone only has name, address, and city, state, zip, that theirs is going to be centered pretty well on the page. Okay, great. This works. Now we're just going to do all of our formatting. So we want our names to be in Recoleta, medium, and then these we want to be in Unito, which I have as my default font here in InDesign. Okay, lovely. Now that I have a longer address, I think I'm going to make that one just a tiny bit smaller, and we can sort through with the preview and just make sure things are looking the way we want them to, which they mostly are. Now I'll just click Create Merge Document, and I'm going to set one option, which is just to remove blank spaces for empty fields. So if someone doesn't have an apartment, it will remove that blank space. Click OK. We had no overset text, which is good. That means nothing was longer than the box. And we can scroll through and make sure everything is fitting where you want. Everything looks pretty centered. Nothing looks like it's falling too far out to the edges. There are a couple of things like this where the name is a little too long, so we can just make that smaller, do a little bit of editing, and just make sure everything looks good, which I think it does, at least for these first 15 pages. Just as a reminder of how cool data merge is, we now have 71 pages, and that took us no time at all, basically. So now I'm going to go through and use a parent page to add the static elements, which are the background and this envelope apple option. So I'll copy those, go to pages, and then a parent. Now you can see this page is blank, and I'll paste those from Illustrator. Okay, they pasted in the exact spot I wanted. Everything looks really good. And now when I go to each individual page, zoom out just a touch for you. The address label has exactly what it needs. It has that kind of return address element. It has the background as we need it, and then it has the addresses as well. And the reason that I use the parent page for the background and the little envelope is because it'll make the file size a little bit smaller. That rainbow element is kind of large and clunky, and we don't want to have it, you know, repeating 71 times if we don't have to. Also, if I decided I wanted to go in and change it, for instance, if I did want to add a return address or I wanted to change the background to something else, I could just go in and delete that and change it on every single one at once. If I had done a lot of work, like resizing the names, etc., on 71 pages, and then I thought, oh crap, I meant to change this little emblem to black to match the text, I couldn't do that if it was on every single page as a single element. However, I can go in and do that here on my parent page, and now it is black on every other page. So anything that's going to be the same on every page, I would always use a parent page as opposed to putting it in the initial merge document. So now that our file is ready to go, let's export it to upload to PrintsWell. So we're going to click File, Export, Address Labels. And typically you'll start with high quality print and then change any changes that you want. Typically, I don't change anything on high quality print for PrintsWell, except I'm going to use the document bleed settings because I need that 0.125 bleed included. You also want to make sure your artwork is going fully out to that red line. If you're not familiar with bleeds, again, we have other videos on that. And we'll just click Export. Now this file is going to open in Adobe Acrobat, and I always have it do that for one reason, which is that we need to outline the fonts. In InDesign, you can't select things on multiple pages at the same time, so it's really hard to outline all the fonts in here unless you do it manually. But if you have it open in Adobe Acrobat, then you can easily outline all the fonts. What you do, you'll visit this tool, which is Use Print Production, click on Pre-Flight, and then this Convert Fonts to Outlines. You'll just double click on this, save your document, and replace it for the original. And it's going to convert all of those to outlines for you, which is something that PrintsWell just really appreciates, and it will help it print better as well. Now I'll exit Adobe Acrobat, and this is ready to upload for printing. We're here in my demo account, and if you need help with setting up your files at any point, you can just click Need Help, and they have a bunch of guides and templates that you can use. Also, if you've never used PrintsWell, you can use my link to get $25 off your first order. I love their online ordering system because it prevents you from making so many mistakes and also prevents you from forgetting something and then having to get an email back from them and having a lot of back and forth that changes your timeline. If you submit an order, it's going to print within about 2 days and ship really quickly. So in this type of product, we are going to do stickers, and I like the matte ones personally for address labels. Now you can select a standard size here, or you can enter your size manually. And we're going to do ours 10 inches by 2.25. Here's where it will tell you how much it's going to be, and since this is a custom size product, then this is a $25 fee, but they have a ton of standard size products that you can use as well. So how many are we ordering? We're ordering approximately 75. So we'll select this product. And then when we click yes on will this be a variable print job, that means that they're going to print every page as a different address label. The order quantity will update based on the number of pages in our document that we upload. So you want every page in the PDF to be one page of your document. Then our order quantity updated to 71, and we have this handy little preview. This is new and I love it. It helps so much with folded cards and die cut cards. You can see exactly how everything's gonna look, which is really nice. So we're seeing our address label. If we had uploaded the wrong size file, it would tell us. If we had uploaded something to the back, it would work here. You can't do that with labels, but you can with flat cards and other things. It's just gonna give you some peace of mind that you ordered everything correctly. And if there's any big issues, you'll be able to see them here. Click next, and then we see our product total. We have $5.72 for the variable printing service, and then each one is $1.11. And then we can add it to our cart. Love that you see another little preview here to make sure you got everything you needed on your order. And then all of the shipping options are right here, and the pricing will update as well. So right now we have $15.95, but if I changed it to 2-day, it's just gonna update to $30. So you can see exactly when you're going to get things and how much they're going to cost, which I think is just really wonderful and makes this whole process so easy. So I'm just gonna submit this on my other account that's not a demo account, and then I'll show you when they get here. I'm so excited to see these address labels in action. While we're waiting on our prints to arrive, I just want to remind you that if you've never worked with PrintsWell before, you can use my link to get $25 off your first order. And we have a whole playlist of videos about working with them on our channel here. Y'all, our address labels just arrived. How cute are these? Obsessed. I already put this one on, so I want to show you how I do that. I'm just using a scoring board, nothing official or fancy, but I find it helps. And then I'm always going to put some washi tape wherever I want the envelope to go, as well as where I want the top of the label to go. So those are really helpful. And then you want your address label to be butted up as tight against the side as you can. That's going to help you keep it straight, and make sure your envelope is butted up against the top. So now we'll just take off the address side, line it back up, and put it on as straight as we can. We flip it over and take off the rest of the adhesive backing. I find it helpful to butt this up here so you can just get it really, just helps get that creased really tight and straight. And then pull this over. Super duper cute. I love how this goes a little bit over the flap, so I don't have to seal it too aggressively. You could also make it go even further if you wanted to make it full 11 inches, and it would go even further. But it's actually pretty easy to put these on, and they're so adorable. Okay, I must know, which color are you most excited for me to try these on? I think the pink is gonna be my favorite. Like, these have so many good colors. I love this kind of rainbow hollow effect. It's so fun. Pretty much anything is possible with these address labels. You can do them as any kind of background. You can put any sort of design elements on them, and they will work on any colored envelope. I love to use these on like velvet envelopes and envelopes made out of unconventional materials as well. I can't wait to see what you design, and if you want to get one of these really cool stationery mailings, definitely check out Stationery School. We've got over 100 classes just for wedding invitation designers, and I send out fun mail just like this as a surprise sometimes. So thanks so much everyone for 5 years of stationery school, and I'm so excited to see what you use this tutorial to design.